President. And again, I commend Senator Steele-John for putting forward this motion. NDIS Tuesday. Normally NDIS Monday, but of course budget week. So we're NDIS Tuesday. And for those that play along at home, Transmission Tuesday is also coming up. So a few things on today. So yesterday I went to my son's school. He attends a special school. We had a very, very early morning Mother's Day breakfast. I somehow feel early morning breakfast on Mother's Day is an anathema, but anyway, there we were in the morning. And I looked around at this beautiful school and these beautiful kids, and every single one of those kids is going to need lifelong supports. They don't have a speech delay. They don't have a minor global developmental delay. They haven't stubbed their toe. These kids have significant disabilities that are going to require supports for the rest of their life. And as I stood around talking to the other mums who were there, those of us that have got kids a little bit older, we all started our journey before the NDIS. So we remember what it was like when we did have to rely on the states if there was anything available, and I can tell you in rural and regional New South Wales that was not the case where we lived at the time. So the NDIS has been an absolute life-changing scheme for my family and for the families of these kids, and certainly for younger kids coming through. But to say to families that are going to come through on the back of this new legislation, don't worry, there'll be foundational supports, we're going to push you all back into the state system, when we know that there's no supports in the school system. The school system vacated the field. The states left disability well alone as soon as the NDIS came into play. In fact, they couldn't have run faster in any single allied health community program that they were delivering, couldn't run away fast enough. And so you can't just stand this stuff up again overnight. And the problem that we've got is, on top of that, the NDIS price guide, which is just an abomination. This price guide has put the fees so high for NDIS participants, more than if you're on a healthcare card, more than if you're a veteran, or if you're in aged care. The NDIS, it's the best paying gig in town. So there's no way someone who's gone into private practice as an occupational therapist or a speech therapist is going back to work for a state-funded salary in the community health. That is not, because they can charge NDIS participants at the most ludicrous rate. But do we hear anyone talk about the price guide? Do we hear anyone talk about what the providers are doing in gouging this sector? That is absolutely what is happening. But we don't know where these cuts are going to come from, but I can tell you where you could save a lot of money is by getting rid of that price guide, letting the market decide the price. People pay what a normal person would pay, and when I say a normal person, someone who walks in off the street, before I'm verbaled on that, rather than someone who's an NDIS participant. But as the point has been made by both of my colleagues here in the Senate, that this is in the budget already. It's already in the budget from last year, so we don't know what's coming tonight. There could be another almighty whack tonight, and we don't know what that's going to be. And, you know, the thing is, the Labor government, this Labor government has an almost golden opportunity if they want to bring the states back to the table, if they want to change the funding arrangement, because aside from Tasmania, wall-to-wall Labor state governments, wall-to-wall. They have a sea of red, and look how well the country's going with that, going really well for everybody. That cost of living crisis is awesome. But wall-to-wall red governments, and I'm sorry, Senator Farrell, your turn to speak was to actually provide the figures you were asked to provide. So rather than interjecting on me, provide the documents you've been required to provide by the order of this Senate. Stop interjecting over me and do your job. The people of Australia deserve more than this government. The people on the NDIS deserve more than this government. And what they are getting from you is opacity. What they are getting from you is deceit. What they are getting from you is contempt, and this behaviour that continues when you have an opportunity. You know, Bill Shorten referred to Senator Reynolds and others when they were in opposition as kabuki playing pearl clutches because there was no sustainability issue. There was no sustainability issue, according to Bill Shorten, and he told every disability provider, every participant in this country, the whole sector, there's no sustainability issue. This lot don't know what they're talking about. Day one, he comes in, oh, the NDIS isn't sustainable. Hey, come and help me try and fix it, but we're not going to tell you how. He is frightening families, he is frightening participants, and we know that the next generation coming through of kids with a disability are going to be hung out to dry by